Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The BlackSeries Sandtrooper. This is the brand new version from the New Hope line of the BlackSeries, so it is number 12 in that line. Flipping around to the side here, we have this just stellar artwork of the Sandtrooper, even a little dewback in the background with kind of the sands of Tatooine. That's really cool. I also really love the big weapon here featured on the side. That is, of course, a blaster that we've seen in the original trilogy, but we also really saw it in Battlefront 2015, and that's one thing I'm really excited about this figure. Anyway, flipping around to the back, you can, of course, pause and read the bio if you would like, and we have that exact same artwork here on the back as well. So other than that, there's not a whole lot going on with the box. Let's crack him open and see what this figure has to offer. And we're actually going to be giving away all of these BlackSeries figures you see here, so make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to figure out how you can enter. Alrighty, so we got the brand new Sandtrooper out of the box, and I gotta say, I've seen a lot of mixed feelings about this guy online. A lot of people really like it, a lot of people don't like it at all, and honestly, I'm in the bunch of people that really likes this figure. I saw this guy get announced, and I was beyond excited. We've needed an updated Sandtrooper in the line ever since that 2020 Stormtrooper body got released, and so, you know what, 5 years later, we finally got that updated Sandtrooper, and it's just looking so great. But of course, in this video, we are going to be doing a full review and really deciding if this guy is a good enough upgrade compared to what we originally got back in 2013. Let's go ahead, get this guy off the spinning stand to take a close look at everything he has to offer. So we do have the Sandtrooper here out of the box, and to be honest, it doesn't look like there's a ton new on this figure. This is on the 2020 Stormtrooper body, and so he does have all the great updated articulation that Stormtrooper body did come with. For a while there, I thought the helmet would have been a new sculpt for this guy because it looks visibly different than some of the previous Stormtroopers we've gotten in the past. But doing like a side-by-side comparison, it does seem to be the same sculpt. I think the only thing that's different is the black brow line is actually applied nice and straight on that guy. Compared to a lot of the other Stormtroopers that we've gotten, it's been kind of jagged and not straight, and so just getting it like applied nicely on there makes it look new, but really it's not a new sculpt. It's the exact same sculpt we've already gotten for the Stormtrooper helmets in the past. Which honestly is kind of a shame because the Sandtroopers have a visibly different helmet than like normal Stormtroopers, and so it is kind of sad that they didn't do a new helmet mold for this guy. For a second, I did think the backpack was reused too, but looking at the backpack here, it is actually different. The old one is here on the right. As you can see, the one on the right here has this kind of like canister cylinder thing, and it's a box on this one. This thing on the side here is also visibly larger on the older one. So yeah, it is a new mold for the backpack, which is nice. Now, of course, the Stormtrooper does have a peg hole here in the back for the backpack to peg into, which, as you would notice, the other Stormtroopers don't have. But we have seen that backpack before on figures like the Incinerator Trooper or the Mortar Trooper, and so that is not an inherently new mold. One thing that is interesting, I thought the pauldron was going to be a reuse of the Jedha Patrol Trooper pauldron, but as you can see, they are different pauldrons. The Jedha Patrol pauldron kind of has these two creases going down like so, and as you can see, those do not exist on this new Sandtrooper pauldron, so I do believe this Sandtrooper pauldron is a completely brand new sculpt. Another thing that's new on this guy are these little black pouches on the belt. So I do believe this belt is new. This is something that all the Sandtroopers have had in the past, but we've not gotten this belt mold for the 2020 Stormtrooper yet, and so this is the first time we're getting these big black pouches on the belt, so brand new belt mold there too, which is great. Then of course we have to talk about this brand new blaster mold. First time we're ever seeing this in the BlackSeries, and I absolutely love this. This is a blaster I used to play all the time with back in Battlefront 2015, and so just seeing the inclusion of this brings so much nostalgia to me. And yeah, I'm just so glad they included this with this figure. It's something that's small, but it means so much to me personally. Next up, going over articulation, of course at the head he does have a ball joint, so great range of motion there. You're going to get all of the range of motion that you need. At the shoulders, he can get up into a T-pose. That backpack or pauldron not going to get in the way of that at all. The shoulder pads are on the O-rings, so great technology there. We kind of move this pouch out of the way. As you can see, he does have butterfly joints in there. They do get a lot of range of motion. Now, unfortunately, no bicep swivels on this guy. That's something that the clones for the 2023 like updated clone sculpt gave, but they don't have them on this guy. You can get well past 90 degrees at the elbow though, which is amazing. And then he does have the standard horizontal hinge on the left wrist and a vertical hinge on the right wrist. He does have a ball joint at the torso. He can kick up super far, and of course he can get into a pretty good splits. At the knees, he can get past 90 degrees. And then at the ankles, he does have the standard pivots and rockers. Next up for comparison, we have some different Stormtroopers from the line. We have the Jedi Patrol Trooper on the left, and we have the original blue line, white pauldron Sandtrooper on the right. And as you can see, these troopers are very similar in design, but also very, very different. Of course, most of the modern Stormtroopers that we're getting nowadays are molded in this very, very bright, glossy, shiny Stormtrooper armor. And if you like bright, shiny, glossy Stormtroopers, that's great for you. But of course, this newer Stormtrooper is molded in a yellowed, dirty, kind of white plastic. And of course, that is kind of to project weathering. This figure does have some really solid weathering all over the front, which is really, really nice. They also molded it in this yellowish plastic to kind of convey that overall weathered look, even when it's not really there. We could definitely see that difference with the original white pauldron Sandtrooper here. This thing is molded in that shiny, glossy white plastic, but it's completely covered head to toe 365 in that really, really nice sandy colored weathering. And so that white color is completely overshadowed by that sandy weathered look. But of course, that costs a lot of money in paint apps. And of course, Hasbro does not want to do that. And so instead of doing that white color covered in the sand, they just decided to mold it in that yellowish plastic and then kind of cheap out on the paint apps, which is a little bit of a shame. But honestly, I still think the weathering looks amazing on this guy, at least on the front of the figure. I didn't really show this before, but the back of the figure has absolutely no weathering at all, which is just a shame. But yeah, that really just comes down to the evolution of BlackSeries figures and Hasbro trying to cut the budget as much as they can. Which honestly, I understand, and I still really like this figure, and I still think the weathering looks great, so I'm not too upset about it. Next up, we have the standard Imperial Stormtrooper on the right. Again, we've already talked about this one. It's a very bright, shiny, glossy armor. And then we have the Remnant Stormtrooper on the left. This one is, again, one of those figures that's kind of molded in that a little bit more yellowed plastic to kind of convey that look of weathering, but it's also got a ton of paint apps with the kind of marshmallow burnt look, and of course all the gray and brown weathering effects on top of it too. I do think that the Remnant Stormtrooper is one of the most underrated BlackSeries figures in the line, and honestly I think it's looking really good here next to this new Sandtrooper. And then next up for comparisons, we have Farm Boy Luke on the left. This one does have a different head on it. It has a Yavin Ceremony Luke head on it, so it's not the really crappy Luke we know and love. And then on the right we do have the BlackSeries Dewback, one of the coolest BlackSeries vehicles slash animals we've gotten in the line. And yeah, this is just one of the coolest things that I can compare this guy to. I love the Dewback. I love the Sandtrooper riding it. It's one of those Imperial vehicles that we just kind of need more of in the line. And I do think this Sandtrooper is looking great next to the Dewback. And so of course I had to put the new figure on the Dewback to show you guys what it looks like. If you guys want to swap them out, I think it's a great choice. If you want to buy an extra Sandtrooper just to do this, I honestly fully support it because I think it looks really good here on the Dewback. So overall, I really like this guy. I know he has his flaws. I know the weathering on the back of the figure is a problem. The not accurate helmet is definitely a problem too. But regardless, like, I want to dislike these things, and I just can't. I love this figure so much. I'm a huge Stormtrooper fan. I really like how this guy turned out, even with the flaws. I love the brand new sculpted blaster. I like the weathering on this guy. I think the weathering looks great. Honestly, I like the figure molded in that yellowish plastic. I think that does a huge deal for the figure. And of course, I really like all the newly sculpted pieces they made for this guy too. I really wanted to go into this review just bashing on all the kind of flaws of this figure, and I just could not do it because once you get out of the box and you get it in hand, I absolutely love it. And honestly, this is my favorite Stormtrooper figure of all time. And arguably, this is the best Sandtrooper ever made. I know that's a very controversial statement, but I honestly think that's the truth. But I'd love to know what you guys have to think about the Sandtrooper, so let me know down in the comments below what you think. And you guys are actually going to have a chance to win this Sandtrooper because we're going to be giving it away. Of course, I did open it to review it, but I will throw it back into the box to give it away for you guys. All you have to do to enter is 1, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because you do have to be subbed to enter. And 2, all you have to do is leave a comment down below in the comments of this video. Comment if you like this figure, if you plan on picking it up or not. You guys will have 2 weeks to enter. Once that 2 weeks is up, I'll use a random comment generator to pick the winner, and I'll announce the winner in my YouTube community tab, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And we're actually going to be giving away this New York Comic Con exclusive 2-pack, which has not been released yet too. This one will be a giveaway for our channel members. If you guys do want a chance to win this one, make sure to go down and hit that join button down below. At the end of the month, we'll hold a live stream for channel members. Anybody who joins the Lukeness Lieutenant tier before the end of the month will automatically be entered to win this 2-pack. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!